Welcome to Life Beyond BS, where we ditch the belief systems and the bullshit and get real about life. Here it's about awareness, choice, and creating joy that actually lasts. No perfection, just honest talk and powerful change. I'm your host, Heather McNally, and let's get into it. Hey, beautiful friends. I'm your host, Heather McNally, and welcome back to Life Beyond BS. I'm really glad that you're here today. Today's episode feels especially important during this kind of in-between season. It's the stretch between the holidays and the new year. 2026 is coming up. It's a time when a lot of people start reflecting, they start questioning, taking inventory of their lives, and people start creating what I feel are those dreaded resolutions. They're wondering what they can change, do differently, or who they can become. It's great to dream, right? And while the season can be full of joy and connection and celebration and meaning, it can also feel heavy. And I just want you to know that both things can be true at the same time. This time of year has a way of kind of amplifying things. Memories come up, expectations show up, old emotions that were quietly tucked away can suddenly feel so loud. For some people, this season brings warmth and togetherness. For others, it can bring loneliness, grief, comparison, exhaustion, stealing of joy. And for many, maybe you, it's not just one or the other. You can feel grateful and sad. You can feel loved and lonely. You can feel successful and disconnected. There's nothing wrong with you if that's your experience. I promise you. For me, I celebrate Christmas. Every year, Christmas feels really nostalgic for me. I almost feel like a kid all over again. I get excited to get the tree. I get a real tree every year, decorate, sing all the songs, and celebrate with my family. And I remember my grandmother always hosted Christmas Eve, and my mom always hosted Christmas Day. And for me, it was just so much fun for the most part. As a child, it was mostly magical. And of course, there were moments of stress, even as a child, because it depended for me on my father's mood. What were we going to wake up with that day? We never could predict it. But as I got older, the magic faded a bit. Has that happened for you as an adult? Until I had my own kids. And then it was full of magic again, and I could live through their eyes and the joy and excitement that they had. Over the years, my mom became ill and couldn't host all of the holidays anymore. My grandmother was much older and couldn't do it. So I took on Christmas Eve, and I still had my mom helping in the background. We went shopping together. We talked about everything that we would want to do, all the decorations, all the fun, and we cooked together. And that was our big thing. And overall, we just enjoyed the holiday spirit together until 2016 when my mom passed away. It's been 9 years. This is the 10th Christmas without her. She passed in October. And yes, every year I feel that tug of loss. I miss all of the things that we did together because I didn't lose just my mom. I lost my best friend in life. I still do them without her, and it feels different. It's still beautiful. I still enjoy it, but I am that person who's celebrating, yet feeling a really deep loss every year because Christmas was so wrapped up in my mom and I celebrating and doing things together. We're told that this is the season of happiness and joy. So when we don't feel happy or joyous, we often think we must be doing it wrong. But loneliness isn't always being alone. It doesn't always look like just being alone. One of the things I hear often at this time of the year is I feel lonely, even when I'm surrounded by people. Have you ever felt that? I know I have. That kind of loneliness hits differently. Sometimes loneliness looks like being at a table full of people and still feeling no one really knows you. Sometimes it's feeling like you're playing a role. like you're the strong one or the funny one or the reliable one, while you're quietly wondering, does anyone actually see me? And sometimes it is about no connection, just not feeling connected, even to yourself. Sometimes the loneliness isn't about just being alone at all. It's about standing at the edge of a new year and realizing you don't feel aligned with the life that you're living. Feeling lost doesn't mean that you've messed up. It doesn't mean that you're behind. And it definitely doesn't mean you missed your chance. More often than not, feeling lost is like a signal from your body to you. It's a signal that you've outgrown an old version of yourself, a signal that you've been living from roles that you're playing instead of alignment, a signal that something deeper inside of you is asking to be acknowledged. Most of us were taught who to be, but not to know who we are. Who we are isn't mom, sister, cousin. It's something deeper. This is where identity comes in. And here's something I want to gently reframe for you. Identity isn't something you create. It's something you remember. Because so many people aren't actually asking, how do I fix my life? They're asking, even if they don't have the words yet, who am I now? What do I actually want? Why does something still feel off? And those questions tend to surface right about now at this time of year. Personally, I've often felt I had to live up to others' expectations of me. I wanted to make everybody happy. I would completely count out how I felt about doing and doing and doing. Do you feel this? I had to make everyone else happy. I had to make sure everyone else was getting what they needed. And it was exhausting. It made me lose myself more. And it made me physically and mentally ill, even in the moments where I would have expected to feel happy. Even in joyful seasons, there can be grief. Grief for people who are no longer here, like I felt when I lost my mom, and I feel every year. Grief for versions of ourselves that we've outgrown. Grief for a life that we thought we'd have by now. And even when everything looks good on the outside, you might still feel a quiet ache inside. It's not always huge. That doesn't make you ungrateful. It makes you human. We're allowed to hold joy and sadness at the same time. As this new year 2026 approaches, the noise gets louder. New year, new me. Set the goals. Fix the habits. Do it better this time. Reinvent yourself. Fix everything. And I want to lovingly call out the BS on that and offer you something different, gently and compassionately. You don't need to overhaul your life. You don't need to become someone new. You don't need to shame yourself for resolutions that you didn't stick to. Most people don't fail at resolutions. They struggle because the expectations that they gave themselves were unrealistic, unaligned, or rooted in self criticism instead of self understanding. Real change doesn't come from pressure, it comes from awareness. It comes from asking better questions, not from making bigger promises. Instead of asking, who do I need to become this year? Try asking, what feels misaligned right now? What am I craving more of? What small choice could support me today? Because every minute of every day not just January 1st. Every minute is an opportunity to choose yourself. You get to choose right now, in this very moment. When you don't know who you are, you borrow identities. You become who you think you're supposed to be. Sound familiar with the limiting beliefs and people placing those on you? The world, society telling you who to be? You chase approval. You follow rules that were never meant for you. And eventually, that disconnection shows up as burnout, resentment, anxiety, or numbness. But when you understand yourself, your values, your needs, your patterns, you stop trying to fix yourself and start learning how to support yourself. That is where peace comes from. Story time. Years ago, I used to practice Krav Maga. It's a self-defense form of martial arts. I was preparing to test for my green belt. The night before my test, I went out with a group of friends to an event and was spending the night at the location. My plan was to get up early in the morning, head home for the test. Everyone was having so much fun that night, and I was too. I definitely took part in the enjoyment, but I was very careful in what I was consuming and doing because I knew that I was testing the next morning, which is, all right, honestly, physically and mentally challenging. As the night moved later and later, I started to say that I'm going to head to bed. I need to get my rest. And some of the people that I was with started saying, like, skip the test, stay here and have fun. And I explained to them that this test meant so much to me. Like, I had worked so hard on myself physically, but even more so mentally. And these tests weren't a joke. You see, the older version of me, the one who was unsure of herself, who hadn't decided kind of who I was and what I wanted, who didn't believe in myself, would say, yeah, screw it. I'm going to stay and have fun. But this version of me, this woman who had done the work and knew what was important to her, the woman who had worked so hard on deciding who she was and making aligned choices, she made her choice to hydrate, to go to bed, to get that rest, and to get up and go test in the morning. And guess who not only tested, but passed that test? And this is actually why I created Happy, Healthy, Whole. It's a program that I'm running, and it's a 12-week program. And I wish I had a program like this when I was the younger version of myself, the one who felt lost, unworthy, disconnected from herself. Not because she needed fixing, but because she needed understanding. Happy, Healthy, Whole isn't about a new you. I created Happy, Healthy, Whole not because people are broken, but because so many people are disconnected from themselves. This work isn't about fixing you. It's about awareness, identity, alignment, and conscious choice. Happy, Healthy, Whole is about remembering who you are beneath the noise, the expectations, and the roles. And if this conversation is resonating, if something inside of you is saying, there's more for me, maybe you feel lost, maybe you feel like I'm happy-ish. This is the kind of work that we do inside that space of Happy, Healthy, Whole. It's about building a compassionate, sustainable relationship with yourself, grounded in awareness, identity, and aligned choice. It's about understanding how your beliefs were formed, learning how your nervous system and emotions influence your choices. Choice is your power. Reconnecting with your body, your intuition, and your truth. And it's about creating change that actually lasts without burnout or shame. There's no judgment. It's not about perfection. It's about presence. I want to leave you with something simple. Tonight or sometime today, maybe tomorrow, but don't put it off too long. Ask yourself, what do I need right now? And what would it look like to honor myself just a little? So, as this year comes to a close, I invite you to soften, not push, to reflect, not judge, to get curious, not critical. You don't have to have everything figured out. You just need to be willing to listen to yourself. You're not behind, you're not late, and you are absolutely not alone. And if you're feeling called to go deeper, to truly come home to who you are, Happy Healthy Whole begins January 13th. There are 2 different versions of it, and you can find all the details in the show notes or at heathermcnally.com. I want you to know if you sign up for Happy Healthy Whole by December 31st, you will also get a free bonus course from me that we'll be doing after the program is over. That will be really helpful in integrating all of it. If this episode gave you even a moment of clarity or relief, I'd love for you to share it with someone who you think might need it. And if you haven't already, please rate, review, follow, and subscribe. It helps this message reach more people who are ready to live beyond the BS. And if you haven't also, go on to my website, heathermcnally.com, and sign up for my newsletter. You'll get weekly tips, tricks, life hacks, and keep up to date on all the things that I'm doing. I want to thank you so much for sharing this space with me today. My hope is that you walk away knowing you have the power to choose differently. Go live fully, freely, and unapologetically. Your life beyond BS starts now. I'm so grateful you were here today. Remember, your peace, joy, and happiness aren't found in the BS. They're found in your choices. If this episode spoke to you, please rate, review, follow, and subscribe, and share it with a friend. For ways to connect or work with me, check the show notes or visit heathermcnally.com. Until next time, keep choosing you and keep living your life beyond BS.